Hey everyone, today we are talking about math time, particularly the independent math time that isn't spent on working on some of those harder word problems or some of those word problems that I'm posting that take a little bit more time. My suggestion is that you work on those word problems for just about 10 or 15 minutes every day. Don't push doing those for a really long time. So whatever lesson I send out shouldn't take a whole lot of time. Then the rest of our math time is independent time. So that can be spent, you could cut the remaining, 40 minutes or so into some time on Zern or on the math puzzles games, Khan Academy, any kind of those screen time games, or some of the games that I've posted on the website that under the math workplaces at home, which are our math games. So, the first math workplace that I'm going to show you is everybody's favorite, or almost everybody's favorite. It's called Tower Power. So here I have cups, just Dixie cups. They're $3.99. They're the 3-ounce Dixie cups from, I think I got these from King Soopers, $3.99. I have 4 boxes full of them, so I am happy to deliver them, and so you can either make them or I'm happy to make you a set and deliver them pre-made. So I have these created as a set of, let's see, there it is. That should be the last one. Cool. So I split these into some sets. So we've got the set you see there is the set of adding within 10. So those are all, like this one is, let's see if you can see, yep, 5 plus 0. Then on the inside, I wrote the answer, so 5. This one is 0 plus 5. So I just made a set with all the combinations of addition and subtraction, or sorry, just addition within 5. So 1 plus 1, 0 plus 0, 1 plus 2, those kinds of things. Okay, so you write the equation on the outside, then the answer on the inside. So the way you'd play is you would say 5 plus 0 equals, and then if I'm working with especially these lower ones, I would probably want to have something out that I could use. You can use Cheerios, you can use literally anything. I'm going to use dice. So I'd say 5 and put 5 on one side. Let's try to shift this camera view so you, oops, sorry. So I put down my 5 dice, and then I have 0 over here. So I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. Okay, it adds a piece of kind of concrete to doing the math. Then you could have your kid write down the equation. I did 5 plus 0 equals 5. Write the equation, and then when you get it right, you get to stack that. Then I do the next one, 0 plus 5, and I would take the dice and count them out. Do a group of 0 and a group of 5. Oh, that's 5. Oh, I check, and on the inside I see that, yep, I was right. So 5 plus 5, or 5 plus 0 is 5. So now I've got 2 of them stacked there. And as I continue, I'm going to go really fast so you can kind of see. So 5 plus 0 equals 5. All the answers are on the inside, so I can always check. 4 plus 1 equals 5, yep. And I should always try to say the answer before I check. Some kids will get smart and just 1 plus 4 equals 5, yay! That doesn't count, it goes back on the bottom. Okay, 4 plus 1 equals 5. 0 plus 4, I think that's 4. 0 and 4, yep. Oh, yep, I was right, 4. So I can keep going, and as you see, as you get more right, it is fun because you get to stack them and make a tower. Okay, hence Tower of Power. So the other piece is that if you get it wrong, 3 plus 1, I think that's 5. I check, oh darn it, it's only 4. So if I get it wrong, then I put it back in there. That way I have to practice it again. So it gives me practice on the ones that I haven't done before, or haven't gotten right before, or have missed several times. Okay, so when I'm done, just clean that up nicely. And there we go. So when you're making these, you can make them as part of your activity. You could write down all the combinations of addition problems. You could use chips. So I could take 5 dice, and if I'm trying to do combinations within 5, I would say, okay, we're going to start with 5. What are different ways I can make 5? Well, 5, hopefully this works, 5 and 0, okay? Well, and I'd write that down, 5 plus 0, and then I'd go 0 plus 5. Now I'm going to do 4 plus 1, and then I can switch them, 1 plus 4. And I could write down all of those combinations. So that would end up being a much more involved process for you as a parent, but it's a good way to work together to make these. Okay, that way the kids are involved in making them. If you don't have time for that, don't worry about it. Either just make a set or ask me to make a set, and I will mail it to you. I will deliver it to you, up to you. I would love for everyone to have this because it is a great way for kids to practice their fluency on math facts. So, obviously I use within 5 as a example there. I also have subtraction within 5. Okay? You can mix those. You could do addition and subtraction. That way they're having to be really careful looking what sign is there. You can do within 10. You can do within 20. It depends on what level your child is at and what you're working on. So if you're not sure exactly which sets you should be working with your kid, I am happy. Just let me know. Shoot me a message, and I will tell you which ones you should be working on, which ones you should be prioritizing. So that is that I would use if they're not fully comfortable, and so especially if you're working on the lower ones still, I would probably use dice or Cheerios or counting chips, anything you can to make it a concrete thing where they're actually moving the numbers around and it's not just numbers on there. Once they become a little more comfortable, once you're up to within 10, then it can be easier to do the just memorizing and using fingers. But it's better to use the concrete as we're still getting used to it. So that's tends to be more towards our kindergartners, but not always. And then, so that was our first math workplace at home. That's fairly easy to make. Like I said, I have tons of extra cups. I bought a whole bunch. I am happy to make you more sets. I obviously already have a complete set that I made all the way up through. It has groups of 10, adding within 10, subtracting within 10. So I've got a lot of different groups here that I would be happy to get to you. So the next one is our our fluency pancakes. So I just took some construction paper, I cut it into circles, and then I wrote an equation on the front with the answer on the back. So then I can lay them out. And for these, you can color code them. That's what I have done in the classroom. This set is the set within, hopefully you can see, is the set that is just adding within 5. Actually, right now it's really just adding within 3. So to do it, I would pick an equation, and once again, you could make a list of the equations you'd like to do with your kid. You could say, we're going to do all the combinations of 10. Take 10 things and then figure out different ways to do it. You could do, you could say 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, and go all the way up like that. Up to you. So I had 1 plus 2. I'm going to do 2 plus 1 now. And I always make sure I put the equal sign on there. That way they're seeing a full equation. And then I'm going to do 2 plus 2 because that is my next one. Okay. Oops, and I forgot something here. I need to write the answer on the back. 3. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So then the way to play is you've got them laid out. You would take a spatula or you can just do it with your hand. But it's a lot more fun if you take a spatula from the kitchen. So you can just grab one. Got my spatula. Ooh, 0 plus 0. I'm pretty sure that's 0. I pick it up on the spatula. And then I flip it over. I flip my pancake. Oh, I was right, 0, so I get that pancake. And then it'd be the other person's turn. Or I could go again, depending on how you're playing. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yay, I was right. So, just a fun way to practice math facts for fluency. You can, once again, similar to the Tower of Power, have them write down. Go on, Malice. Go on. Thanks, bud. You can have them write down the equations just on a sheet of paper as they're doing it. So that way they're practice writing the equation. They get a little bit more, kind of solidifies it as they're working. So that is fluency pancakes. And now I've got a dog trying to lick everything. So the next game I'm going to show is add 9 or add 10. So if you're like me and you don't have a functional printer, I just found out that my printer is broken and probably will not be able to be repaired since essential services are the only ones that are functioning right now. So if you don't have a printer, you could very easily just make a game board like this. So I just looked at the one online and then I wrote it out. So I'm going to take 2 dice to play this game. Got my 2 dice. So I am going to roll. Ooh, I rolled 6 and 4, so I rolled a 10. Now I'm going to add 10 to that because we're playing the game add 10. So if I add 10 to that, then it would give me 20. So I would write down, and if I was working with a kid, I would draw potentially a 10 frame, which I will show you what that looks like. It's literally just this. So it is a rectangle with 10 squares. Okay. So I would say 10. So I'd start with the 10 that are on my dice, and then I'd go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So then I would cover up a 20 on my board. Well, there's no 20 on my board, and actually I forgot to bring pieces over, but there's no 20 on my board. So instead, I'm going to cover up a star. So I'm actually using the Tower of Power cups. Maybe you can see. Oh, there we go. To cover it up. So then it would be the other person's turn. They would go and they would, oh, look at that. They got a 10. They'd use that 10 frame to count on. And they would end up with a 20 as well. Ideally, they would have a different color cup. So I'm going to use a different color cup here. And they're covering up a star as well because there's no 20 on the board. So they're going to go there. This time I got 9. So I'd count on from 9. I'd go 9 and then use my 10 frame to count on. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And many of them should have the pattern down of 9 plus 10 is 19. But this will help them. And then write down 9 plus 10 equals 19. That'll help them see that pattern that the 9 stays there all the time when you add 10. And so I get to cover up a 19. I'm going to cover this 19. So I get to pick which 19 I'm going to cover. So I've got several covered there. So I've got my cups on. And then it'd be the other person's turn. 5. 5, and then I'd count on. Malice, go on. Malice, go on. Thank you, bud. Sit. Thank you. Lie down. Lie down. Malice. Lie down. Lie down. Thank you. Stay. Sorry. So I'd count on. I'd start at the 5 that I had. And I'd go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'd write down the equation. 5 plus 10 equals 15. Okay, and then I would cover up a 15. Ooh. So by covering up that 15, so right here I have 2 that are pretty close together. So if I get 3 in a row, then I win. Although this one also has, oh, that one's on 19. Not quite 2 that are in a row. So the goal is to get 3 in a row, or you could change it and you could do 5 in a row. Up to you. There's different ways to modify the game. Another way to modify the game would be to play not add 9 or add 8. That way you can add all the different ones. You can practice adding different quantities. But start with add 10, because then it's 8 plus 10 equals 18. 7 plus 10 equals 17. It has, it's that we practice adding 10 to numbers. Then after that, you could say, look, adding 9 is the same as adding 10, but then it's 1 less. So 8 plus 9 equals 17. So it'd be 18, and then go 1 back. Same thing with 8, except that it's 2 back that time. And so the more you do that, the more that will kind of just become fluent. So hopefully that's another fairly easy game. I'm happy to make you a handmade chart if you'd like, a handmade game board, and send it to you, up to you. Just let me know if you need any of these materials. I have plenty of dice. Everyone should have gone home with 2 dice in their bag. But if you lost them, if you didn't get them, then please let me know, and I'm happy to get you dice. So the final game we're going to play is called Make the Sum. So all you need is a set of game cards for that. Or if you don't have cards, you could use, you could literally take index cards. This one's one of my high frequency word ones, but you could take a blank index card and you could just write 1, 2, write 1 on this card, 2 on the next one, up to you. I have plenty of index cards as well. I'm happy to deliver them if you need any. So I'm actually going to take the joker out. So here's how you play. You make a goal number. So we're going to play to 7. So I got an ace, which is a 1. I got it actually, and I'm going to take out the face cards. I got a 2. So I've got 1, 2, that's 3 together. It doesn't make 7 yet. I got an 8. So 1, 2, and 8. Ooh. So now if you're playing with subtraction, which some of you could, some should not. It depends if you're ready for a little more complex. You could say 8 minus 1 equals 7. So I put these two together, and I've got 1 set. I score a point. Now, technically, if you're playing Make the Sum, you wouldn't be using subtraction, but it's a fun way to modify the game. So now we're going to keep going as if I'm not using subtraction. So I have a 2. Ooh, I got another 2. So now that's 4. Oh, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus a 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I got a 7, so I get another point there. Okay, and you can take turns. You could write down the equations that you're making to make 7. So now I've got 2 points. I've got 2 sets of cards there. Okay, so sometimes you'll get 6 and 7. Well, those aren't going to make 7. Another 6. I don't have any combination that can make 7 yet. You could say jokers are 0 or that face cards are 0. That's another option to be able to use 7. So I have 4. So 6 and 4 is 10. 7 and 4 is 11. That doesn't help me. So if we're saying face cards are 0, I just got a 0. So I'm going to put 7 and 0 together to get 7. But I've still got a bunch of cards here that I haven't been able to use. So I would keep going until all the cards are gone, and I've made as many 7s as I can. So 9, if I'm playing to 7, that's kind of pointless if I can't subtract. But so hopefully you get the gist. These are all fun games. Tower of Power is probably the most independent. But they're all fun games, fun math games that you can play to keep practicing. And I will continue to put up more. Hopefully every Friday is the plan. And just spend some time during your math time doing that. Don't spend it all working on word problems or trying to make everything really hard. Work on some of this fluency piece. Math should be fun. Other board games, so I know I put the Monopoly one on there. That one's a little bit harder to make. You're welcome to make it if you have the resources. You're welcome to just play Monopoly. Play Sorry. I'll post some class rules we made to Sorry on the website, on the website that will help make Sorry a little bit more math intensive. Trouble's another one we use in the classroom. Any of those games are great math games. So, Shut the Box. It's easily found at any Target, Walmart, any of those. It's another game where you're combining different numbers to make a sum, kind of like Make the Sum. So, hopefully this was helpful in figuring out how to make some of these math games and how to play them. Like I said, if you need any of the supplies, I have plenty here at home. I brought a whole bunch home so that I could deliver them in case people didn't have them. So please, please, please let me know. I've got time on my hands to come deliver them. I'm happy to mail them if you'd prefer that. Anything, just I really want everyone to be able to have all the things they need to be able to do this stuff. So hopefully that was helpful. Please let me know if you need anything or if you need any better explanations or need more help with any kinds of math games. Or if you have ideas for math games. That was another challenge that we set in the classroom, was being able to make math games and then give them to me, or write the rules, and then we could show them as a class. So if you make math games at home, please send them to me and I will get them out to the whole crew. Thank you very much. I hope everyone has a good day, stays safe, and enjoy the lovely weather that's coming this weekend. So have a good one.